Welcome back to another video. Today I want to go through my reasoning and my journey as well as a trader and how I was able to become a profitable trader within like a year and a half of losing money. Now, a year and a half is a very short period compared to a lot of other people, right? I've seen 2 years, 3 years. I've seen it go as high as 7 years, right? And I've literally seen it in person, like a trader trading for 7 years and then seeing it in person and seeing them struggle with emotions, with discipline, with everything. And I've seen it. I want to go through my journey and showcase how I was able to become profitable. Now, this video is going to be very, very different from a lot of my other videos, which this is going to be completely unscripted. The editing is going to be very, very low. I'm going to try to just do cuts. Usually I'm like, hey, what's up guys, blah, 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 blah. The only thing I have right now are just some bullet points on the side right here. It's literally just like 5 or 6 bullet points. That's it for this entire video. Usually I have a entire script, but I'm not going to do all that. So if you do enjoy these types of videos, leave a like or a comment down below so I know to make more of these, because I won't know if you don't tell me. Okay, now the first thing I did, and a very big tip, is detaching yourself from the money. What does this mean? Very, very simple, like it's in the name. I think every single one of us as traders, we came into this industry to make money, right? But ironically, the more money you try to chase, the harder it is for you to become a profitable trader or make more money, right? You'll notice on your periods of maybe large drawdown, or maybe as a break-even trader or just inconsistency, you'll notice those large periods, they're consisted of like the foundation is built upon you trying to make more money. And this shouldn't be the case as a trader. I think I really evolved as a trader and I started seeing exponential growth, like not just like in P&L, but like in trading, right? It's my ability to trade saw exponential growth when I just detached myself from the money, right? I don't care if I'm up $100 or 1,000 or 10,000. It doesn't matter to me because I'm fully detached from the money. And I think that's very important as a trader. You can't be attached to the money, because I look at it like this. If a fund of, let's say, 10 billion, for example, puts on a position and they're risking $2 million, $1 million, right? They're risking like 0.1% of their portfolio, $1 million, even $500,000, right? They're not going to be very emotional on that money. Meanwhile, if you risk $500,000 on a trade, you're going to be very emotional on the trade. And it's like how you react inside of a trade is very, very important to how you execute the trade. And being emotionally regulated is very, very important as a trader for you to see continuous growth. Because I personally don't think you will see lots of growth if you continue to stay attached to the money. I've seen people, like with my own eyes, get detached from the money and they see a lot of exponential growth. Like the growth that they have is just immense because they just stop caring about money. And I think it's very, very important as a trader. You can't care about money if you want to make a lot of money, right? I think a lot of good traders, they have part-time jobs on the sides or full-time jobs. They do trading on the side as a part-time gig, right? And those are the traders that make a decent amount of money and are consistently profitable because they don't care about the money, right? If you go into the game trying to retire, trying to make 10K per month, trying to achieve a goal, get your M5, M8, whatever. I'm not into cars, my bad. But if you're trying to get that dream car that you have, your dream apartment, you're trying to get your dream life, it's going to be harder for you to become profitable because you're going to be chasing that and the money attached to that. But instead, someone else that does have that, they're going to be chasing something entirely different, which is chasing becoming a better trader, becoming better psychologically, becoming a better risk manager. And that is way more important than chasing the money, because when you do start chasing becoming a better trader, that's when the P&L starts rising. That's when your win streak occurs, right? And I've seen this with my own trading. when I stop caring about money, when I just get fully emotionally detached from the outcome and get attached to the process, and me becoming a better trader, me becoming more, not emotionless, but like more regulated with my emotions during trades, maybe just in real life, more disciplined, that's when I see the most growth as a trader, right? And I think it's very, very important for you to just fully get detached from the money, because it's hindering your growth, okay? Very, very much so. I think another one is psychology, right? A lot of people don't focus on psychology. They're only focused on making hella bread. And for me, I think my big jump in trading was psychology as well. It doesn't matter if you win. It doesn't matter if you lose. If you have a profitable strategy, I think you can be profitable over a long period of time. I think the hardest part of trading is finding a profitable strategy, right? Once you have that, you can back test that however long you want, forward test it, do whatever you want for yourself to gain confidence in that strategy. And once you have that, it's just executing, right? And that is a lot of psychology, because when you're back testing, for example, you're just looking at candles, right? You're just like, okay, I have a $100,000 demo account. Let me click buy 1% of my portfolio. Let me click sell at 2R, 10R, whatever your take profit is, right? But in a trade, how will you react if you're up 5R, for example, right? And it goes back to being emotionally detached from the money. Let's say you're risking $1,000 in a trade, and let's say you make, in real life, let's say you make 4 or 5K a month. In this trade, you're up 5R, for example, but your take profit is at 10 or 7 or 8 or 3, right? Let's say you're up 3R. And it goes higher and you're up 3,000, you're up 4,000, 5,000, and you're like, yo, I make this in an entire month, but I was able to make this in a single trade, right? Will you be emotionally regulated enough to, one, not care about the money to the point where you don't care what the trade does? All you care about is the trade playing out, and you don't care about the P&L? Or like, if you do care about the P&L, like you're gonna be trimming quickly. You're gonna be taking profits way too quickly. You're gonna be trailing your stop to a position where it shouldn't be. You're gonna be just managing the trade in a way that you shouldn't be doing, that doesn't align with your strategy. And I guess that is also very important. And it goes back to the detaching yourself from the money, right? And that also is like psychology as well, because if you're on a losing streak, for example, right? If you're detached from the money, like you're just like, whatever, it is what it is. But if you're attached to it, like you're gonna be emotional on your next few trades, right? For example, let's say you make 3K in a month, 4K in a month, which is on average, I feel like a lot of people make. Let's say you make that in a month. If you're down 10K, you're gonna be more emotional during your next few trades. That's just us as humans, because you're like, damn, I lost 2 months worth of work. Granted, like this is if you're on a live account and not a funded account, but still, even if you're on a funded account, you're going to be more emotional, because you're going to be like, yo, I'm going to lose this account. And also you're going to lose all the progress you made on the account, and you're going to have to start from square one. And then it's not something that you personally want to do. So it's very, very important to like get your psychology in check and just have emotional regulation, right? A lot of traders, you will notice the unprofitable ones, and I personally have noticed as well, the unprofitable ones are the ones that don't have emotional regulation. They don't know how to handle their emotions. They're very bad with it, and they fail to grow. The market will continue growing and continue adapting. And if they're unable to adapt, if a single trader is unable to adapt and grow with the market, they just get left behind. And that is very, very important. You can't be left behind in this industry, because it's a constant state of you trying to be better and you trying to adapt, right? Even the best traders in the world right now, they're still adapting to these market conditions that are today compared to yesterday, compared to last week, last month, right? Because it's always different and it's always just adapting to those market conditions. I think I'm yapping for a while, but psychology is very, very important when it comes to how I was able to become profitable, right? I would say, like, people say psychology is like 80% of trading. I would kind of agree but disagree at the same time. I don't think it's that much, but at the same time, it is very, very important. I would say maybe like 40 or 50%. Because if you have amazing psychology, but if you don't have a good strategy, you're just going to be unprofitable. But if you have an amazing psychology if you have a amazing strategy with bad psychology, you're also going to be unprofitable because you're going to be managing your trades worse. You're not going to be trading to your best ability, because sure, you can be taking entries depending on your strategy, but your exits, your risk reward, it's not going to reflect the strategy itself because you're too emotional into trading, which you really shouldn't be. The next one is scaling, how I was able to scale, which is also very, very important. When I started trading, I was doing maybe one account, right? It was just like an actual, like, my live money, not a funded account. And I'm going to go into prop firms a little, like that's the next point. But it was just my personal account and I was trading stocks, right? Now, people say when they started, they lost money instantly and then it was just like downhill, and then they started finding consistency. For me, it was more so I found consistency first. So like in my first 3 months as a trader, I was making money, right? And then I switched things around, which, looking back on it, I don't think I should have done. I probably should just stayed where I was and just focused on what I was good at. And I was basically trading support and resistance on small cap stocks, maybe even large caps sometimes. And it was doing fairly well, I'm going to be honest. But what did I do? I didn't focus on what I was good at. And what I did was I started venturing to options, which I don't know why. Like, I genuinely still to this day, I look back at it and I'm just like, why did I go into options? And while I was trading options, that's where I lost literally all my money. And then reloaded the account. I'm like, okay, let me try paper trading some options. Let me get back into it. And that's why I lost my money again, right? Like, I found some level of consistency on demo, and I'm just like, I bet, let me go onto a live account on my real account, which was already funded and with my money. And I started trading it. But the thing is, I had emotions attached to the market, which really hindered my performance. On a demo account, like, you have zero emotions involved. But on your actual money that you worked hard for, you have a lot of emotions involved. And if you're down like 10-20% on maybe a position or even your entire account, that is very, very heart-wrenching, or it hurts you mentally, right? Because you're like, damn, I shouldn't be down this much. I put in so much work to get here, and I'm losing more often than not, which shouldn't be the case if you're putting in the work, right? Well, that's what I thought during that time, at least, right? And then that's how I ventured over. Like, I blew my options account, and then I ventured over to futures, and then I started finding consistency with futures because it was just 10 times easier to trade. And I guess futures is literally my bread and butter now, right? And scaling is very, very important. And going back to it, I was able to get one prop firm account, right? And then with that prop firm account, I was able to get a payout, and then got multiple prop firm accounts from that payout, and then got multiple payouts from those new prop firm accounts, and then just rinsed and repeated. And that's literally it, right? It sounds very, very simple. It sounds like, hey, like, that's it. But yeah, the most simple I guess, ideas are the ones that work out the best, in my opinion. And I found out with trading as well, right? If the market is going higher or lower and it's very, very simple that it's going to go higher, those are the best trades from what I've experienced. I think when you're at a certain point, like your goal should be to be profitable with one account. When you're profitable with one account, then you can look to scale into multiple accounts, right? Because trading is literally the most scalable business in the entire industry. Not industry, in the entire world, right? There's literally no industry out there that can scale your business as fast as trading can, right? Maybe crypto trading, maybe futures trading, maybe stock trading, right? Because in the crypto side, I've seen 100x within a few hours, within a few days, right? With this new Luigi coin, I saw like a 1000x within a few hours, which is insane, right? You don't get that type of results anywhere aside from trading. And if you're profitable with one account, you can literally be profitable with 100 accounts. And it's really just you scaling all of your accounts, right? If you're able to be profitable and make $2,000 a month, you can add 10 more accounts. And now you're making $2,200 a month. Or not $2,200, $22,000 a month. The next one is prop firms. Now, prop firms were a very, very big contributor to me becoming consistently profitable. I think people trade prop firms thinking, hey, let's milk the hell out of this prop firm and don't care about the rules or anything. But if you go into it like, hey, I'm putting up, some of these firms are giving away accounts for like $30 for you to trade with around $2,000, $2,500, right? You guys know which one I'm talking about. And if you have access to that capital with just $30 as an entry fee, to me, like, it's such a good opportunity for you to learn trading. It's not just like, hey, let's make so much money off of it. No, let me use these $30 because now I have a little bit skin in the game, but not enough to the point where it'll actually affect me in my life. But I can still be semi-emotional, right? I can still be practicing good trading skills, risk management, psychology, everything like that, with utilizing $30 to trade with like $2,000, $2,500, right? Because to be honest, I think prop firms are one of the best things that have happened in this industry because the entry fee is so low and you learn how to trade. And if you trade really well, you get paid out. So it's not a demo account. So like if you make a quintillion amount of dollars on your demo account, like nothing happens. But if you make 100,000 on your prop firm account, you actually can get paid out on that, right? Which is amazing to me. So the entry fee is so low, you learn so much on how to trade with that small entry fee. So I think going into these prop firms and thinking about it like, hey, let me use this as an opportunity to learn and sharpen my blade. Okay, I think Abraham Lincoln or some famous guy said, give me 6 hours to cut down a tree. I'm going to spend the first 4 sharpening my blade or my axe or something like that, right? And I think this goes back to that analogy or saying, and sharpening your blade is like perfecting your trading skills, right? You're not going to, if you have $1 million, but you don't know how to trade, you're going to trade the exact same way as someone with $1,000, right? If you're like, because percentages are the same, like you just both don't know how to trade, but both of you guys can have the same opportunity to learn and grow at the same rate with these prop firms and trade the same amount of accounts. Because if you're profitable with one account, when you become profitable on that one account, you can start to scale up. You don't have to buy 20 accounts, 100 million accounts like they offer, just because they offer it, right? That's you trying to make a lot of money and you're attached to the money instead of the process itself. And once you get attached to the process itself, you're only going to be trading one account until you're profitable. When you become profitable, bam, you can now trade 20 because you got payouts from that one account and now you bought 19 others, right? Or 40 others. Total, like however many, like a firm allows, and then go on to the next firm, and then however many that firm allows, go on to the next firm, right? I think it's very, very important to be profitable with one account first, which I rarely see people do nowadays because they're just so fixated on the money, which goes back to the first point. Detach yourself from the money, and you will see so much growth when you do that, right? Because you're going to be putting in less money, first of all, and secondly, you're just going to be learning so much more. Because if you're trying to perfect one account and sharpen one blade instead of trying to perfect like your strategy on like 20 other accounts or 10 accounts, whatever, however many a firm allows, I think you'll get so much further. Because just like Bruce Lee said, don't fear the man that has practiced 1,000 different kicks or punches, right? I don't know what it is, but fear the man that has practiced one kick or one punch 1,000 times. Okay? Perfect your strategy first, perfect your risk management, perfect your psychology, your emotional regulation, because that is way more important than making a ton of money right now, at least, right? When you're in your stage of being unprofitable, this is what you should be focusing on, because the money is a byproduct of good trading, and good trading can only occur once you have these skill sets behind you, right? So your goal should be to acquire these skill sets of being emotionally regulated inside of a trade and having good psychology, managing your trade, right? Risk management, very, very important. This is very overlooked in the trading industry because everyone just looks at the P&L and is like, yo, let's make a ton of money. This is not the case. Like, we should not be going into every single day or every single trade trying to make a ton of money, but instead it should be, let's make the best decision possible and put ourselves in the best positions to win, because that's what real trading truly is. And when you have the skill set of good risk management, good psychology, emotional regulation, trade management, very, very important. Like, a lot of people don't talk about trade management. Once you have these things, there's like some others, but like I can't think of off the top of my head. Once you have these things, then and only then does trading become easy, and you can make a ton of money and you can start scaling the hell out of your business, right? Before then, that's when you find a lot of traders struggle. That's where you find a lot of traders just fail, because they don't focus on what they actually need to be doing, right? And very, very important. Now, the last point pertains to journaling, right? I think journaling is one of the most important things for you to grow as a trader. I think that you don't start really trading until you start journaling your trades. So if you're trading for 10 years, for example, and you've only been journaling for one, to me personally, I view you as a trader with 1 year of experience. I'm gonna be so dead ass, right? It doesn't matter on how long you're trading, but instead it matters on what you're doing when you're trading, right? And journaling is very, very important because it gives you analytics to look at for you to break down and make decisions upon that, right? If you don't journal, you don't know what you're good at, you don't know what you're bad at. I'm gonna be honest, like if you're like a 9 EMA trader, if you're a supply and demand trader, if you're an ICT trader, if you're a XYZ ABC trader, it doesn't matter, right? But you won't know what type of trader you are and what and what strategy is best for you if you don't journal your trades, if you don't look back on the data that you've collected and make decisions depending on that data, right? Because if you're not doing that, to me, it's just like you're gambling. You're kind of guessing if it's going to go up or down, or you're just like inexperienced. We have to view ourselves as professional traders. And what would a professional trader do, right? Think about it. If you're managing $1 billion with a B, not an M, $1 billion, will you or will you not be journaling your trades? Will you or will you not be looking for any mistakes in your trade plan? Will you not be going into the end of the day at like 8 p.m., for example, when the market's closed, and reviewing what you did right and what you did wrong, how you can be better as a trader, what changed during this market condition, right? How you could have traded better. What was your risk management? How was your psychology during the trades? How was your psychology if you missed a trade, right? I think all of this is very, very important. And if you're managing $1 billion, I do 1,000,000% think you are journaling your trades. So even if you're managing $100, if you mimic the person that is managing $1 billion and can consistently, I guess, result in maybe like 20% a year, 50% a year, I personally think you can mimic his results. I think the only people that don't journal are the ones that are starting out. Ask any single profitable trader, 99% of them will say they journal. I've only found 1% of profitable traders that I know not journal their trades. I'm gonna be honest. 99% of people that are profitable are journaling their trades because, like I said, it's a constant state of adaptation, right? They want to be better. They want to see what they did right, see what they did wrong. Fix what they did wrong, continue to do what they did right, right? And if you don't do that, you don't know what you did wrong. And if you don't know what you did wrong, you're going to continue doing bad habits, continue doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. And let's say 1% rule, for example. You're literally missing out on millions of dollars if you do this. Why do I say this? Because the 1% rule. So if you're getting 1% better every single day, that results in 3,800% in a year, right? But if you don't get 1% better, let's say you get 1% worse some days, you're losing out on thousands of percents because it compounds. Let's say on day 90, for example, you get 5% worse, but still you get 1% better every other day because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You weren't journaling, you weren't doing what you basically needed to do. You will lose out on thousands of percents just on that one day of you losing 5%. And those thousands of percentages can equate to millions of dollars in 10 years, for example. You have a potential. You have a best version of yourself, right? And let's say in 10 years, that best version of yourself is a billionaire. For you to achieve that best version of yourself, you have to get 1% better every single day. You have to get 0.1% better every single day, but ideally better every single day. But let's say during the start or even in the middle, you get 5% worse, 10% worse in a day, in a week, in a month, whatever, right? And you hinder your ability to grow. That 10%, maybe halfway into your progress bar, or maybe in the start of your progress bar, is going to equate to hundreds of millions, maybe even like the billion itself, right? So you're missing out on so much more if you're not doing this, because the only thing that we cannot buy is time. I'm going to be honest. So using your time effectively is very, very important. And then compounding that, because if you fail to compound that and you're just like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'm not really gonna journal, I'm not really gonna focus on my mental health, I'm not really gonna focus on my psychology, I don't care, let me just attach myself to the money. A lot of these things, if you continue doing that, you're hindering your future self, right? Your potential, because your potential can be all the way up here. Wait, is this? Yeah, your potential can be all the way up here, but if you fail to do everything that you need to do, you can basically barely even reach the bottom, maybe even reach halfway. But there's just so much more that you failed to do just because you didn't do the right things today. Okay, and I think that's very, very important as a trader. I think this yap session has gone on for way too long. If you did enjoy this, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment to tell me how I did. I think I want to do more videos like this where it's just me talking to a camera instead of, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another, like, I'm trying to chill off that, okay? Like, these videos are just so much more easier to make, and also I think I provide so much more value because like it's like my free-flowing mind. But yeah, make sure to join the Discord. I do host free classes every single week. If you did enjoy this Yap session, I do have a lot of other education inside the server, so I think you'll enjoy that as well. With that being said, I'll catch you guys next time. Later.